I'm KV Dahl. My family's been in the car business since 1911. I love cars, I think about cars all the time, and I dream about cars. I was born with a dipstick in my mouth and gasoline in my veins. And this is my garage. This week's vehicle is a 1911 Ford Model T, and this vehicle is sitting on the showroom right here at Dahl Ford in Davenport. The reason why it's sitting on the showroom, when we started in the Ford business in 1911 out of the A.H. Dahl & Company General Store, we were selling these Model Ts. So these cars were basically hand-built in Michigan, and they were sent to the dealers, whatever they may be, a general store or a farm supply company, whatever it may be. They had to be final assembled in that shop. So we would final assemble these cars in our general store until the following year when we built the first dealership. Henry Ford had the famous saying, you can have any color you want just so long as it's black, and the reason being was black was the fastest color to dry, so they used a Japanese black paint, and that would keep the assembly line moving right along. You could get colors in 1911. This one's a very dark blue color. It's probably the most common color and really the best looking color when you have it against all of this nice brass work that was on the Model Ts. 1911s did not have front doors, which is kind of cool. They started putting doors on them later in the years. Now, the Model T was built from '09 to '27, and it was basically the exact same car with improvements every year. Little improvements. By the time 1927 hit, they had this car really dialed in nice right before they quit making it and went to the Model A. So this car is powered by a 4-cylinder engine with a magneto. That's where it gets its spark from. And there's actually no brakes on the wheels on a Model T. The brake is actually on the transmission. The transmission's a little bit different on Model Ts as well. It's a planetary transmission. The planetary transmission, you basically have to kind of forget everything you know about driving a car. Essentially, it was your first automatic transmission. So you've got different pedals set up. You've got a clutch pedal to the left, a reverse pedal in the middle, and a brake pedal on the right. You would control your spark up here on the left side of the column, and you would control your gas right here on the left. So you're giving it gas on the left, you're controlling your spark advance and retard on the right. You have this shifter here. Pulled all the way back is your emergency brake. In the middle is neutral. But these cars, when they're in neutral and you start them, they tend to kind of go forwards a little bit. So when you'd want to go, you would go ahead and put this forward into low gear, and you press the clutch pedal in to make it go, to engage the planetary transmission. As you get up to high speed in that low gear, you would pull your gas back up and your spark back up, and then put it down into high gear, push the pedal back in to go. To stop, obviously, you slow it down with your gas and pull it back up into your neutral position. So to hand start these cars, you crank them. Your first crank, you would set your spark and you would set your gas. You would pull your choke and give it a couple cranks to get gas into the carburetor. Then you would turn on the magnetos, give it another crank, and away she goes. Some kind of things that are unique on this car: your headlights are run by carbide, which is a highly flammable material that would be stored in this tank right here, and that would run it up to your headlights. Now your driving lights and your tail light are run on kerosene. These can open up and you can adjust. You'd light it and you would adjust it up and down. You've got your hickory wood spoked wheels. You know, I was saying, as they went on in production in these cars, 1914, that was the first year that they were built on the assembly line. That's when they really started pumping these cars out, and they really tried to get the price down so that it was affordable to everybody. Another thing, you know, they said that the Model T Ford was the car that opened up the United States. Most people in their lifetime never traveled more than 20 miles from the spot they were born. The Model T Ford changed that. It changed everything. It got people to be able to travel a little bit further, to see things they normally wouldn't have seen. If it wasn't for the Model T Ford and the railroads, we would all probably be 20 miles from where we lived. So, really neat car, a great example. This one is about as nice as it gets. It's a national first place winner for the AACA and also a Grand National winner. What that means is this car has been judged by the experts of the Model Ts. Everything on this car is exactly the way it was when it came off the assembly line in 1911. What a great car, the car that opened up the world, and the car that we started selling when the Dahl family got in the car business in 1911. If you're into the preservation of automobile history, like, comment, and subscribe. KV Dahl's Garage.